Hey guys, I hope you're doing well out there. I'm wishing you a super nice Monday, and I decided to start like a weekly live stream again, where I'm gonna do some jamming, some track breakdowns, and testing out with you. Hey, Nicolo, that is cool. Nice to see you. Actually, someone is watching me. I was not expecting that, to be honest. The stream will be every Monday for now. I know Monday is not the really best day to do these streams, but it's my day off from work. So for now, I'm gonna do that Monday afternoon. Maybe I'm gonna change it to Friday in the future. And I announced in the description of this live stream that I'm gonna do some kind of doorless today, because I wanted to break down my latest single in Ableton, but I'm more up for some dub techno stuff because in 3 weeks, in 4 weeks, I'm gonna go to Copenhagen for a gig, and I need some fresh tracks for it, so that's why I decided to do something with that today. I worked on a new dub techno track last weekend when it was super muddy here in Zurich, and yeah, I will just jam around a little bit with this track pattern, and I think I'm gonna refine a little bit of the percussion section. Alright, I'm gonna mute my microphone for a while because it's double in my ears.
Jorderen, we'vjordens rasenkikranja, Tjukses lägerens, Trusen Björserioxen. Silent trains in Ars Conference from the Lickskills Rocks, Living Seas, Kippertonsen, Tickles a Service, Kachilsets, Vara Cats, Throw, Yam, Zai, and Jorderen, we'vjordens rasenkikranja, Tjukses lägerens, Trusen Björserioxen. Silent trains in Ars Conference from the Lickskills Rocks, Living Seas, Kippertonsen, Tickles a Service, Kachilsets, Vara Cats, Throw, Yam, Zai.
So yes, that was my pattern that I'm currently working on. And what is cool is that I'm working with ChatGPT at the moment, and I asked ChatGPT to write some lyrics for me and translate it into an alien language that we humans don't know and we don't understand. And that is a sample of something that it produced. It's really a little weird, this whole ChatGPT, to be honest. But I like the results, and I synthesized it with an online service.
In the Arderen, we've your entlassen Kikromia. Chukes is Laia and she Trusen the Osirioxen. So the jokes in Ars Conference from the Skills Rocks.
And I'm modulating that a little bit with an LFO, so it's wobbling a little bit. And what is funny about that is when I put this translated lyrics into ChatGPT and ask it to translate it back, even there is no defined language behind, it still gives me the same text in English back. Yeah, so I think I just damaged my camera. Now it's back. So yeah, this is just a little thing I'm playing around. The track itself is pretty basic, I think. So first we have just a pad playing. Which is super basic. It's just those two oscillators playing a pulse wave, sorry. And the second one is pitched 1 octave up, so the first one is playing pitched 4 half tones down. Hey Jerry, nice to see you. Ah, that's cool. 2 guys. Actually, I don't know if you followed my previous live streams. I suddenly stopped them last year. But it seems there are still some people following me. So it's pretty cool that you are here, Jerry. So I hope you're good, by the way. I liked the music that you released recently. It's super nice. So this session might be interesting for you today. And so this is just like a super basic pad, because I like to have pads in the background playing of my tracks, kind of. So they make it pretty dense. And because the other 3 voices, can you see that? Yeah, it's mostly cut it off. Hey, Dieter. Guten Abend. I hope you're doing well. It's pretty interesting. So many people are already in the stream at 5 p.m. I didn't expect that, actually. Anyway, cool. Nice to see you guys. So that is a pad, basic stuff. The 2 oscillators of the analog 4, they make it possible to play a chord just with 1 note. This is really a cool feature of the analog 4, sorry. The second oscillator is also using a sub oscillator playing in the 5th note, and these 3 together makes already the basic mood of the track. I think my camera there is something not right. There we go again. And that is the pad. And I'm modulating that a little bit during the track. Oh, fuck. What's going on with the camera? That's uncool. I have a little problem with my iPhone because the lightning connector seems to be full of dirt. So the cable is sometimes causing glitches with the video. But no worries about that. Okay, so I'm filtering up and down this during the track performance. So that is cool. And then we have, of course, the chords. And normally in my previous jams or dub techno tracks, I've created these chords only with one voice of the analog 4, using a specific oscillator setup that creates a chord with just one voice. For this track, I wanted to have some deeper chords. That is why I coupled 3 of them. I'm not sure if you can see that. Maybe it's a little blurred. So I combined the first 3 voices of the machine. So when I play a chord on the first track, all the 3 voices are playing together, so that I can play super nice and rich chords. And the second oscillator is tuned 1 octave up, so there's not really something magical going on, but it makes the sound a little wider. And I also have a sub oscillator playing, so one voice is playing 3 different oscillator frequencies, and that times 3 gives like something really cool, and it sounds like this. This now includes some effects, onboard effects, onboard delay, onboard reverb, a short release time, short decay time, so that gets it a little more aggressive sounding. And you can hear already that the delay is modulating itself. But the delay is playing very subtle, it's not so loud. And what I did is, what is cool about the bigger Electron boxes, you can modulate the effects on their own. So when I go into the effect section, still not sure if you can see that, but I'm gonna explain it. You have LFOs to modulating the effects by themselves. And what I did here, I'm modulating the delay feedback with a ramp waveform. And that let this effect or the feedback grow over time. As you know my music, I work a lot with super slow values or low values to get this developing super slow. And then suddenly it breaks, and then it starts from 0 again. And that is an effect that is super cool, I think. And that sounds like this. Maybe it's a little bit too much of delay. Actually, that's the magic of dub techno, is now you hear the drop of this feedback. You should. There you have it. Now suddenly the feedback is lower, and I'm also modulating the high pass filter of the delay module that makes it even more intense, this effect. And what I really like about dub techno is the simplicity of everything, actually. So I just have one chord, and there is one accent chord playing at the end of the pattern, And that's it. But I could listen to this for hours. It's like... And what I'm gonna do is, during this performance, I'm gonna change the note length, which makes it easier to create some different parts of this track. So right now the notes are playing with the length of 1/16, but I could make this even shorter to make it more plucky. Or I could make the notes longer. So this would be the case, or if I wanted to be more pluggy, I would do that maybe after a break or something. If I want it to be longer, or even more, Hi, blue-eyed cat. What does it mean? A bad sound here. That's something I... Can you be a little bit more specific, please? Otherwise, I think I can't help you. Mono is, of course, it's a streaming software, I guess. But maybe just say hello first. I don't know who you are, but welcome to the chat. To the others in the chat, I know there are some guys. Can you verify that the sound is bad, or... And what sound is bad? Is it my microphone bad, or is it the music bad, or maybe you just think the chords are sounding bad? I don't know. Cool. And then we have, so these are only the onboard effects, right? What you cannot see is that I have my analog heat connected to this setup. And I developed a pattern that gives it a little bit more reverb. Okay. Hey, friends, that's cool. Thank you. So yeah, maybe it's your connection. I know that YouTube had some problems. So yesterday we had a podcast from our label, PTV Victory Collective. D guys from this label, and we couldn't premiere it because YouTube had a lot of problems, and I'm not sure if they've fixed this. So maybe it's a case, blue-eyed cat, that there's something wrong with your YouTube connection. But I know that they had huge problems. They made an announcement yesterday that they are working on this. So there are many issues. They started around 7 p.m., I guess. So yeah, maybe something going on. But well, as Diga and Starmay say, it sounds okay. Maybe it's my sound that bothers you. I don't know. Oh, suddenly my analog 4 doesn't play anymore. All right. So I have to make a reset. Sorry. That's weird. Maybe that's a connection error. Okay. So these are the chords, and it's just a very basic pattern that I'm playing. There's no variation or something. It's just that I'm going to change the values of some of the effects that are applied to it. And once again, this is this effect with the onboard effects of the analog 4. And now this is with the heat effect. You hear, I love the wobble module of the heat. Only sound in the mids, lost the lows and heats. Actually, this sound is getting filtered by the heat effects. It filters out some of the lower ends so that the bass is not really affected. Not sure if you can hear the bass sounds. And what happens on the what happens on the effects is heat effects is there is a bit reduction module which is modulated with an LFO. So from time to time you're going to hear that. I will make this a little bit more obvious. Honestly, it's I think you can hear that right now. So it's a little subtle, it's not so loud. Actually, Blue-Eyed Cat, thanks a lot. This is my first live stream today, so I didn't announce it on any of my socials because I wanted to figure out how it works. So after the show, I'm gonna review the sound quality, and maybe there is something wrong with it, or I will check it out. So if there's something not really perfect, forgive me, it's the first live stream. And yeah, you can hear what's going on with the bit reduction. I really like this effect. So yeah, that is the synth part. What is cool for actually for performing is thank you. That tunes are good. Tip top Dieter. Maybe it's also a compression thing. There is so much stuff that can go wrong. So now I see commercials on my own stream anyways. Yes, so what I can do is I can just switch the analog heat off for breaks. So that might work. I have a dedicated controller to control the effects box, which is, I think you can see that somewhere in the background here. Ah, you see that here. It's a beat step from Arturia, and I still try that to incorporate into the setup to control parameters from this box with the beat step, and also pattern changes and stuff like switching on and off. That will hopefully work next or the week after, before I finally go to Denmark with this set. All right, so cool. That is the musical part. Cool. So now I have this this part of the let's switch it off. I have the part of the rhythm, and I'm still not convinced that this part is really good. So this is a basic groove. The bass is created with the VCO from the analog rhythm with I really like. It's creating super powerful bass lines, especially on big PAs. They can be super powerful, but the notes are pretty short. Well, as usual. And it's filtered down a lot. This is the sound I don't want to hear. This entire track is more, it's pretty damped, or how to say that? It's pretty filtered down. And I only want to have some elements dropping out of this otherwise very deep sound. That is why most of these elements I'm using are filtered. Also, the dub chords are pretty filtered in the beginning, and also the pad is filtered down, because my idea is to have some elements popping out here and there, surprising the listener with something unexpected. So that is this part. Then I have a snare, and the snare is special in that way that it's layered. So the first layer is coming from the analog rhythm circuits. So it seems to be pretty loud, but in the mix it's important. And what I do is, during the performance, I can turn on a sample which makes it a little bit more snappy. And that is a sample from a sample pack, I guess. That is only the sample. And there is nothing LFO'd. I like to use the LFOs on each track for bringing in some very subtle movements. What the analog sound does is, there is a modulation setting which I don't use, but the analog sound of this drum snare, or the clap, or the, I don't know what it is, rim shot, it's changing a lot. Pretty subtle, but it's changing each time it plays. Can you hear it? It's so cool. It gives this entire track something very organic, which I really like. And I could bring in more modulation by searching for a destination. Like, I could modulate the clap, the nose tone, the noise tone, very slowly with multiply 2 and a speed of maybe 8. Hey Sherry, thank you. Cool. Yeah, something I really like about the analog machines from Electron is the huge amount of LFOs and envelopes you can put on nearly everything. I'm actually not sure about the Digitakt OS. I know that they added a second LFO and stuff, but I'm not sure if Digitakt is comparable to the Variety. Fuck, my English is so bad. Yeah. that is my clap. And I put some reverb on this, and just to not sounding too dry and to give it a little bit more space and stuff like that. So cool. Then we have this row is reserved. Sorry, I have to tell you first this track. On this track, I'm playing this voice I was talking about. And the thing is, these two guys are coupled. So if you know the analog rhythm, you might know that you have 12 audio tracks, but only 8 sound engines. That means you can play 8 different sounds at the same time. And some of these pads are coupled. And there are little icons here that indicating that either this sample can play or this. And this voice is only playing when I turn off the clap sound. Otherwise, it stops in the beginning, in the moment when the first clap sound is coming in. All right. But there's nothing special about this one. It's just a voice that plays here and there. Okay, so now I have 3 tracks playing percussions. Very, very gently, I would say. I think it's a waste of doing that with 3 different tracks, to be honest. So there could be something going on with these 3 guys. I'm considering to add some more elements. But what I wanted to do is just to bring in some accents or percussions here and there. That is the reason why they don't play so often. I think this guy, this is also from the Analog 4. It's a percussion engine. Yeah, and I think this is not really the perfect choice for this track, so I'm gonna change it. And the thing is, I forgot to save the kit yesterday night, and then my work was gone. Hi Robert. Schön grüß dich im Chat, wo immer du auch bist. Und yeah, there was a lot of stuff away after I deleted this kit or didn't save it, whatever. Some really not so cool things with the analog machines. Anyway, so these are percussion stuff. And on this track I have like a crackling sound. It is a sample that comes from I know that is a sample that comes from a sample pack with ambient sounds. I think it's a vinyl record sound. I think so. And I've put a LFO on it, and I'm modulating the start position. So you see I have like 16 tricks. And I pitched the whole sample down for 1 octave, I think, yeah. And I put a filter on it because I really filtered most of these sounds to get the low end clean. And I could put an LFO on it. That's a cool idea. But the LFO is already used for the positioning. Anyway, could be something I'm performing manually. But I just like this texture in the background. Dub techno texture and stuff. Cool. Then again, a super basic sound, which is the open hi-hat. And this one is, I took away a little bit of the E-tech time, or I added or made it a little bit longer. I put on some reverb. So the reverb on this track is not really long, it's pretty short. Maybe I should put this down a little bit. Okay. And that's it. And then I have some accent hi-hats. That could be a little bit louder. Also, that is a write from the analog rhythm. It's not a sample. So I try to use a lot of the analog circuits as much as I can. Sometimes I'm just not convinced about how they work in a mix. So that is why I don't use the claps, for instance. They are so flat. Sure, you can put like overdrive and some saturation with bit reduction on it, but still they sound pretty flat to me. So that means these two guys are still to take, so these are not used. And this one I want to change against a sample because I don't like this analog percussion sound in the structure right now. So what I did with these three tricks, by the way, they only play every third of 3 run-throughs. That gives the track a little bit more variation because it's not really on the 4 to the floor grid. So they play in a different range than the other parts of the pattern. Okay, so let's bring this down and bring in a percussion sound. Let's see what I have here. Drifted hypnotic ambient, no. Clay shield pads, no. The Riemann collection is always nice for percussions. What about this one? Bring the sample up. Yeah, why not? But it sounds still a little flat to me, so I would rather go for something with more low ends. Maybe this one is better. Yeah, it's a little better. Some little overdrive. Yeah, maybe I find some. Let's check. What about this one? I like this one. I like this. That's subtle. It's not really. It fits to the rest. Yes, I like it. A little bit louder. Yes, I automated these tricks So the first one is a little is playing, the second is louder, and then the third is not so loud again. Make this a little bit more. More. Yeah. Cool. I like this clap sound, which brings in some high tones here and there because of the LFO. That's pretty cool. I just had the idea to let some of these three accent hi-hats play with some random factor, like 50% or something. Yeah, that's cool. But I want this a little shorter. This effect is so cool. It's so subtle, but it's actually this bit reduction modulated by the heat effects. Jesus, my English is so bad. Great. Maybe still shorter. Yeah. This is cool. Yeah, that is cool. That brings in some variation to the end of the pattern. Okay, guys, let's save this kit. Save kit. All right. I don't have a track name yet. Maybe you have ideas. Maybe this is a little bit too much crackling. Because there's a lot of stuff in the same frequency range going on from the chords. So maybe these should play a little bit higher. That's cool. I think I'm gonna bring in some more percussion elements to these two tracks that I still have left over. But these two guys are connected again, so I cannot play these together. That means this hi-hat has a pretty long release time. If I add some tricks to this track, that will cut off the release of the hi-hat. So this is not the best idea. For this one, it's different. This is connected to this guy. So these two are a couple. They share a sound engine. And on this track, I have only these three super short heads going. So I have these left for some programming stuff. So And my idea is to bring in some randomness to this track. I did this a couple of times, so there's LFO, and then you can go through the different sample slots by LFO modulation, and that is what I want to do. So I'm gonna load up some. Oh, oops! I'm gonna load up some samples first. Bring down the analog source, and choose some. Oh, I have some already loaded. You see there is a range of percussion sounds. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row. I think I used these 7 sample slots for another track. So it might be that they use this, that they share the sounds, but I have used already like 105 of the 128 sample slots, so I have to be a little careful. I want to create 2 or 3 more tracks within this setup. So I gonna reuse these. And now I set the LFO destination. I'm not sure if you can hear that, see that, but I will tell you. I'm gonna set the LFO the LFO destination, Jesus, to the sample slot, and the depth I set to 3 because I have seven sample slots. So that means the LFO is going to vary between +3 and -3 by going through it with the triangle waveform and a very slow speed, of course. Maybe this could be a little faster. Okay, so now we're gonna put all of these on, except the last 3. Oh no, no, the last 3 not, because they are being used by this track for the hi-hats. And now I set these guys to a chance of 4% only. So I have a lot of tricks, but only here and there is something going on. And I put the reverb to 127. Maybe it's too much, I don't know. And let's filter this with the bypass filter. No, it's a BP filter. And this one here. Let's see how that sounds. Oh, that was the wrong track. Oh. Yeah, I like that. Just some random stuff appearing here and there. I think I know, that's correct. I'm gonna put the threshold to 100 or higher, so we can check if all of the samples are triggered with the LFO. Yes, they do. Okay, so I set this back to 5%. I like it, cool. Maybe 10%. Yeah, that's cool. Maybe some delay. No, we keep it like this. lowering down the volume a little bit. Cool. Great. Cool. I think I have to work on the effect section. It sounds to me a little bit too much. The sound is washing out, which is cool, I like, but maybe a little bit too much. Changing the envelope shape. Adding some resonance. Great. Cool. Let's save everything. Save that kit. Save the project. All right, guys, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you like this idea of having this weekly production something stream. I plan this to do every week, so you see my profile. There are some upcoming streams planned already. Save them, activate the notification for it, whatever. Let me know what you think. If you want to, maybe you have some content ideas or you have something to talk about. Maybe you want me to show something specific. Let me know. I will be happy. And for now, I wish you a very nice evening. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks Dieter. Thanks Starmaze, aka Jerry. Thanks Blue Eyed Cat also for your critic about the sound, which I don't know. So I'm gonna check that later. Also, thank you Robert for popping in and everyone who was in the chat but didn't say anything. And also Diga, thanks a lot for joining. Greetings to Italy. Guys, we see us next week. And if you want, come to my socials, connect, and we see us very soon. Bye bye, guys. Ciao, ciao.